do and does, simple present, how to ask questions with do and does. Let's learn and review some important strategies, some important tips to help you better understand how to use do and does in questions. I'm going to talk about some important rules, common mistakes. I'll give you some interesting examples, a very interesting sequence to help you improve your communication in the simple present when using do and does. And hey, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Always posting something different, but let's get to it, shall we? Do and does, And at the end of the video, I kind of prepared an exercise for you guys. Make sure to post it in the comment, okay? Now let's get to it, okay? Do and does. What about that? You will use them in simple present questions whenever you want to know yes or no, or if you want to know extra details, more pieces of information, okay? So we have two questions we are going to cover in this lesson, the yes and no and the WH questions, okay? The questions with what, where, when, how, why. I didn't put all of them in the slides that I prepared, but you can get an idea of the explanation because that's what we're going to cover, okay? Now, let's start with do and don't. That's very important. Do and don't, okay? I'm going to use do and don't with the following pronouns: I, you, we, they. Now, they can be a little tricky because sometimes we don't see the pronoun they because we're using a different word. We're using nouns in the plural form. So we're using dogs, cats. We can use objects, the doors, the windows. We can talk about animals, the cats. We can talk about places, okay? So as long as it's in the plural, it's more than one. It is usually the plural form of he, she, it, okay? So we are going to use do and don't with these guys. I, you, we, they. Remember, I am talking about questions. That's the main focus of today's lesson. If you would like a different lesson with more information, perhaps affirmative sentences or negative sentences, let me know in the comments. So when I am using do and don't, when I am asking questions with do and don't, I will need a proper sequence. There are some elements that I need to include in my question to make a proper question. Because only using intonation will not be enough. I need a little more. And that's what I am trying to show you here. And I think I changed the slide. No, it is here, I think. Yes. Yes. No, I changed the sequence. Oh, my goodness. Okay, let me see where my do is. Oh, I have a different slide here. Oh, no. Let me see if I can fix this. Oh, okay. So, okay, let's see. I think now it is. So I need a proper sequence, okay? And what is going to happen? Let's see here. I have do. I have my subject. What is the subject? It's the person. Do you, do I, do they, do we. That's the sequence you're going to use. So I have do, I have the pronoun, or I have a word that represents the subject. It could be do houses in Brazil. That could be a subject. Yes, the more advanced you become, the longer and the more different your subject is going to be. That's why some students get a little confused. Okay, so this is more basic. Do they like you? Yeah, that's more basic. But then as you advance, these points in the sequence can get longer, okay? For example, here I'm only using one verb. Do I know you? That's just one verb. But the more you advance, the more combinations you can make, okay? So that is a very important observation. So do we need to stay? Do they know how to cook? These are important observations. So you have do, you have they or we or you or I, plural nouns that represent the person. Immediately after that, I have the verb. In the base form, no preposition to. That's what we call the main verb, the first verb, the main verb, sometimes the only one. Okay? If I want to include another verb, and I will talk about this, but in a nutshell, if I include another verb, then I will need to separate this verb and I will need to add the preposition to. Do I need to work on Sundays? Do you have to study on Sunday mornings? But Priscilla, does that always happen? Do I always need to use the preposition to? Sometimes with some verbs that doesn't happen. And I will talk about that, so stay with me until the end. Now, don't. I can also ask questions in the negative form. That's possible. But my idea, my meaning will change a little. When I ask you a question, do I know you? I really want to know the answer. Do you want to study now? Do you want to watch this video? That's it. But when I ask the question don't, with don't in the negative form, which is possible and common, then I change the meaning a little. Usually when native speakers use don't to ask questions, they want to talk about something unexpected, something that is surprising. They want to confirm something. Maybe they want to make a suggestion that makes it a little bit softer, okay? So they want to use don't to make a question in the negative form to make it softer. They are making a suggestion. That works really well when I am saying why. Why don't you study a little more? Why don't you hit the like button? It is a softer way to make a suggestion, and that works really well with why. Why don't you do that? If I want to know, if I want to express a little bit of criticism, why don't you eat vegetables? They're so good. Why don't you eat vegetables? I want to know. So that is usually the idea. So whenever I use a question with don't in the negative form, don't you like, don't you do, don't you study, then I have a different meaning behind. Okay, that's important to know. Now, common mistakes. It's also wrong. It's not common mistakes. But I won't be able to change it because something is happening in my computer. Let's see what is my next slide here. Yeah, it's does. But my does disappeared. I don't know. Okay, here it is. Does and doesn't. That's the next slide. For some reason, the organization is not the same and I'm not able to change it the way I would like to. But continuing. Does and doesn't. They will be used with the pronouns he, she, it. And I'm talking about questions only. I'm not going to focus on affirmative and negative sentences. And I will use he, she, it in the singular form because they represent the subject in the singular form. He for men, she for women, it for animals and objects and things in the singular form. So I know you doesn't work, okay? Because where is that? Yeah. So I know, okay? But does he come here often? Does she come here often? Does it know how to talk? The parrot. Does it know how to talk? That's the idea, okay? Let's see what else here. Yeah, the sequence remains the same. You have does, then you have he, she, it. You can have names, and I will talk about this very, very soon. I will focus on using different nouns. But for instance, I could say, does your sister study English? And sometimes, and I will talk about the common mistakes here in a second, sometimes students confuse that because your sister, so they think, oh, do, but no, sister, she, one sister, your sister. So it's does. Does your sister study English? That's the idea. And the same thing with the base form of the verb, it's the same, okay? Without to. The pronoun I is there by mistake. That's not it, okay? So doesn't will also have a negative idea depending. Let's see, where did it go? I don't know why the order is not the same today. Oh man, I don't think it's here. Oh yes, here. Doesn't will also reflect the same ideas if you use it in the negative form when asking a question. So I can ask a question with doesn't. It's possible. Doesn't your sister study English? I'm surprised. I'm a little surprised. Doesn't your sister speak Spanish fluently? Maybe I'm telling you a story about my sister. Oh, she's having many problems in Spain. She's in Madrid right now and she's having many communication challenges there. But then you're surprised because you know she studies Spanish. So you could say, but doesn't she speak Spanish fluently? Oh, well, not so fluently. But then I can explain. So that's the idea. Whenever I am asking a question in the negative form, it could be a surprise, it could be to confirm something, to make a suggestion, to criticize, to complain about something, to expect an agreement, to expect someone to agree with me. So these are usually reasons, usually the meanings, okay? Now, guys, let me go back here. Before I continue, I would like to invite you to subscribe to the channel, share this video with a friend, why not, okay? And if you're interested, my study plan, my listening mastery workshop are amazing courses that can help you improve your English and organize the way you study, so check them out in the description of this video. But now, let's see what comes next, okay? Because my files here, they're confused. They're a little lost, okay? That is live. And it's interesting because I checked this beforehand and it was fine. I don't know what changed, but it changed, okay? Yes and no questions. So quick review here, okay? They are simpler questions. As the title suggests, yes or no. Do you play soccer? No, I don't. Does your sister play soccer? No, she doesn't. Do your parents, two people, parents, mother, father, do your parents work? No, yes. Does your spouse, can be a man or a woman, I don't know. Does your spouse speak English? Yes, Priscilla. No, Priscilla. So that's the idea of yes and no questions. They are simple. They are objective. I want to know very specific information, yes or no. That's what I want to know. Do you study English? Yes or no? That's all I want to know. Typically, in conversations, when someone asks you this kind of question, in the books, and as you can see here in this slide, you can see the short answer. Yes, he does. No, he doesn't. Yes, I do. No, I don't. Does this work? It's correct. But typically, in conversations, I will say, do you work? Oh yeah, my God, from Monday to Friday, it's chaotic, but I'm all right. Oh, even messed up my hair. In conversations, native speakers will not always say, yes, I do. No, I don't. Sometimes they stop at yes, and then they give you more information. That's fluency. That's real life, okay? And the idea of this video is not that. It's just to focus on specific explanations and tips to help you. But in real life, that's what's going to happen. They will continue. They will say, oh, no, I'm not working at the moment. They may not even use simple present. Do you work? No, not really. I didn't tell you. I forgot to tell you. I quit my job last week. That's real life. Okay? That's what's going to happen. But that's good. You will be prepared for that, okay? So now, focusing a little bit more on WH questions. Okay, let's see here. Where is it? And okay, is that it? Is that it? Yes. Why did it change? I'm so shocked. Okay. It's not this one. It's this one. Okay. So WH question words. Here is where things get interesting. Okay. Because when I ask this question, I want to know more information. I want to know the details. I want to know the good stuff. I want to know what. I want to know when, where, how, why, whose, who. I want to know more information. I want to know details. That's why I need WH question words. I didn't put all of them here just to exemplify, okay? So where does he go on weekends? And this is not really, this is the one. No, it's not. It's not here, I'm afraid. Where does he go on weekends? And this is a very nice sequence that I wanted to bring to you guys to help you remember the position of the sentences when I want to ask a question. Whenever I want to ask a question, there is a sequence with WH and without WH, okay? And I like to call it the WH APVC. This is the exact sequence you're gonna need to make questions, and I highly recommend practicing this after this lesson is over. So you will look at the WH, that's the position. If you want to ask a question with WH, what, where, when, how, why, how come, whose, you name it. Immediately after that, the helper, the assistant, okay, that's why I say A, because it's the assistant, the helper, and it's do or does, okay? What does... Then after that, it's the P, the person, the subject. What does your best friend, V, like? Okay? And then C. C is any word or combination of words that will complete the question. So it's the complement. So what does your sister like to eat in the morning? So to eat in the morning is the complement. This entire part is the complement to complete like. When I have two verbs, I typically separate them by using the preposition to. Does that mean this is going to happen to all? All of them? No, it doesn't, okay? Unfortunately, it doesn't. I'm afraid it's not the case, okay? Let's see if I can fix this now. Let's see. I think so. I think I was able to fix it. Yes. Yes. Oh my goodness. Now it is beautiful. It messed up. Guys, I did this before the class and it was perfect. It was beautiful. But then it boom, disappeared, okay? I don't know why. Like, it beats me, okay? So as I was saying, with most verbs, you will need the preposition to. What does he like to do? What does he want to buy? Where does your father want to live? Okay. But with some verbs, you may need to do a little bit more, okay? With some verbs, as you can see here on the screen, you will have to... You will have to remove to, there's no preposition to, and the next verb, the second verb, will be in the ing form. This happens to some verbs. For example, enjoy eating, enjoy going, enjoy doing, enjoy writing. Avoid doing, avoid sleeping, avoid working, avoid sleeping. Finish eating, finish doing. At what time do you finish eating your breakfast every morning? Just an example, okay? Where do you avoid going on weekends? Priscilla, I avoid going to work on weekends. You tell me about that, okay? So what is the sequence? WH, helper, person, action, complement. This is the sequence. You know, when I was studying English a long time ago, when I was beginning my journey, I would do this. You know, I would pick a page and I would write WH, the WH, the A, the helper, okay, then the person, then the verb, then the C, and I would create many questions. And after that, I would answer the questions. That was my favorite practice. during grammar time. I didn't do grammar exercises. That was my jam. Okay, that was my grammar practice. I would write this down on a page, on a piece of paper, and I would create many different questions. I would about my father, about my mother, about my sister, about my friends, about work, about everything. Because I wanted to practice. And I do this with simple present, with past, with future. I do them with all kinds of tenses, with present perfect, passive voice. We can create sequences for all tenses, okay? It makes it easier. But I create the questions. That was key to helping me understand the sequence to making questions. And always remembering that there are exceptions. For example, these verbs. It's not only that, okay? There are more, but it's a good way to start, okay? Now, common mistakes. Not being subscribed to the channel, okay? Just saying. I know YouTube is changing a lot of things, but become part of the community. It's free. YouTube. All right. But anyway, let me go to the next one. Yeah. Common mistakes. Adding verb to be. Okay, and here, guys, there is a correct symbol, but it's not correct. Okay, I just saw that I create these slides. All the words are mine. Okay, all the words. But then I put like in the chat GPT, like make it beautiful, you know, and then it changed the symbol there. But the content is mine. I have the original. It doesn't look pretty. I think this one looks really nice, really cute. But mine is like the original, you know, rough, without any editing, just the content. And I wanted to make it a little beautiful for you guys. But it's not correct, okay? Does your parents is wrong. It's just to show you common mistakes. So adding verb to be. It is so common. English learners do this all the time. They ask questions with do, and they use verb to be. You cannot do that, okay? You cannot. And it is common. People do it. I get it. So do your... Yeah, I know that I put adding verb to be here. I will show you, okay? But the other mistake that I'm going to talk... I got very carried away with the verb to be because it is so common. Another mistake is confusing do and does. Using does instead of do. Using do instead of does. So your father is he. You're talking about he, your father. But because we see your... we think it's do, because do you, do your, no, okay? Your what? Your sisters. Then it's do, more than one. Your sister, only one, does. At the end of the day, it's the number. More than one, plural. So do, only one, does, okay? So that is very common. Make sure to share this with a friend. Here, the other one, now we're only focusing on verb to be. Does your sister is married? Do you is a doctor? Wrong. Okay, we don't use do and does plus verb to be. It doesn't work. Okay, the idea for you to understand is if verb to be is the main verb, you don't need do, you don't need does. And the questions you ask with verb to be, they are typically more basic. Are you happy? Are you hungry? Are you sad? Is your sister a doctor? Are you American? Is your course 100% in English? Are they your neighbors? So they are very simple questions. They are not really complicated questions, okay? I can make more advanced questions, but in a nutshell, if verb to be is the main verb, you can't, it doesn't work, okay? You cannot do that. If it's the second verb, then it's possible. Do you want to be an astronaut? Okay, do you want to be a teacher? To be, but it's the second verb. And now it's in the infinitive form, okay? Be, it's not conjugated, it's not the main verb. Then it's possible, then you can. But as the main verb, it doesn't work, don't do that, okay? At all. Now, what is your homework? Your homework, number one, is to support the channel and hit the like button. Thank you. Your second homework, I strongly recommend doing that. I want you to create 10 yes, no questions with do and does. But make those questions relatable, okay? Connect the questions to your life. So ask questions about your sister, about your brother, about your colleague, about your manager, about your boss. And use different pronouns. You, we, they, I. Ask questions to yourself. Do I speak English well? Do I have a good mood in the morning? Do I like to eat chicken? Interesting questions. I love eating chicken, by the way. So ask the questions and then create 10 more questions with WH. Do and does. What does your brother like to eat in the morning? Who do you call at night? Who do you visit on weekends? Who do you go out with on weekends? Play with that. It's the only way for you to master questions. I am telling you, every student I have taught, simple present, asking questions, that is exactly what I asked them to do. I gave them the explanations, and then the next exercise was this: create, because fluent people create. Only watching a lesson is not enough. To make sure your brain retains the necessary information, you need to use it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!